What's good? On this week's episode, we talk Game of Thrones episode 4, previews for episode 5, as well as arguing about the MCU versus James Cameron. Episode 82, Daniel and Gian talk shit. Got some construction going on downstairs, so it might be a little noisy. But
this would have been a great episode to bring our old school mics back.
Yeah, for real. I kind of want to hold my hand right here, just kind of look down into
We're
it.
Probably peeking like a motherfucker
The whole time.
So, but let's get right into it though, because we got a short amount of time, but a lot to talk about. Start with Game of Thrones,
episode 4.
Two left. Two left. How does that feel? How does it feel that there's only two left?
You know what? Last episode, you said like you felt episode 3 was the climax of the show, and yeah, I didn't agree with you then, but I feel like I kind of am, because now I'm just not as excited for the finale of the show.
You mean you weren't excited about how it went old school and they started fucking shoeing in a bunch of fucking convoluted plot points at the very last minute to make it seem complex because there was nothing else you didn't like that?
No. I'm not gonna say I disliked episode 4. It was fine, but I just wasn't as excited for that confrontation. Like, even the dragon getting killed didn't really affect me the way it would.
Because it came out of nowhere. Because they knew they had to get rid of it. Because what do you think about this argument? And I don't know where I fall on it yet. That's why I'm asking you. Do you feel like some of the things are getting cut because of budget? Like, they're killing a dragon because of budget. Ghost, they didn't get to say goodbye because of the budget, like to make the CGI, because they're going to be allocating that for battles. And if that's the case, how do you feel about that?
I don't know if I buy that. I think they're just running out of time and ideas. And
well, the ghost thing they said, the guy.
Well, I know they said it,
he admitted he was even like, we did it this way because it would have cost too much, and we thought it was way more impactful for it to end like it did.
You'd rather spend all your money on the giant killing Lyanna Stark,
which is what was fucking ironic.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, like that's just poor planning.
Why not just get a regular fucking dog and just have him pet a dog?
I've been thinking about that third episode, man, and I understand from like a filmmaker's perspective why they went about it the way they did, but in retrospect, like, why you're just doing it for other people who actually know and appreciate film. The majority of people that watch the show don't give a fuck about that.
What do you mean, though? What are you talking about?
Just the way he shot in the dark, the way they were using lighting and stuff. Like,
but how else were they going to do it? You want it to be a daytime battle?
It could have been a daytime battle. Or they could have done it at night. They could have used lights. Like, I don't think people are going to be like, there would have been no fucking lights at this hour to make everything look clear. I think enough people complained about the way the episode looked where they have a legitimate gripe at this point.
Yeah, but I think they did it at night to save money. Period.
Okay.
Period. And I think
they did it at night to spend money on that fucking CGI giant.
No, they saved money. I guarantee you. This is my guess. I don't know.
Episode 5's battle is going to be
bigger.
Yeah.
It's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger, and people are going to die. This is the episode where people die.
Right.
And if they don't die this episode, if you don't lose half the cast, in episode 5, I'm going to be disappointed. We'll get to episode 5 predictions in a second. Let's just talk about episode 4, though.
I'm just going by complaints I've seen online. Like,
no, they're valid complaints.
Like, this is the first episode we see where like time just doesn't fucking matter anymore.
It doesn't.
I
mean, literally,
like travel time. Like, before it would.
Jon Snow's like, hey,
I'm going down to Westeros, and then he's there. Like, well, we didn't
even talk about Bronn. That's Bronn right there. But let's just talk about Jon Snow about saying, hey, I'm gonna tell my siblings about my big twist.
Yeah.
Cut to Sansa 5 minutes later snitching.
Right.
Like, that's an example of what you're talking about. And
he had like no time to sit on it or anything. There was no like thinking about like what the repercussions would be. Like,
one of the directors, or maybe it was one of the showrunners, I don't know. They were saying how, well, the reason why we didn't show Sansa telling Tyrion or whatever, like or even having fucking Bran tell his sisters like what, because we don't need to see their reactions, because we're gonna. In my mind, I'm like,
that's what the whole show's been about.
I wanted to see them tell Bran, and I wanted to see their fucking face when they found that information out.
It's not a TV show. It's a TV show. It's not a feature film. Like, you can get away with that kind of stuff in film because we know you only have 2 hours, 2.5 hours to tell your story. So we don't need to see the reactions as much, but we've been with these people now.
I need to see them.
Yeah.
I need to see them.
Not everybody does.
I need to see Bran do something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know how he fits into the. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not. They didn't go down for the battle at all. You know what I mean? Like, did we see him with Daenerys? Did we see him get on the ship with Jon or the horse? Like,
Who's left at Winterfell right now? Like, no, like not like
Sansa.
alive, but who's
all I
at
know,
Winterfell?
Sansa and Bran. Brienne stays because they have that weird like Jaime gets sucked back into Cersei's vagina, even though
I don't think that's what it is.
No,
No, I think he's gonna go down to kill her.
you think so?
Yeah.
You think that's how he's going to end it all? Because
I think he realizes that. No,
Yeah.
I think that's why he went.
okay.
Because
I hope that's what it is because if it's him to fight on her side,
I don't think that's what it is.
Like
I think that's what people
he's the
think
ultimate
it is.
incestual cuck of all.
People keep
cucks.
saying that shit, and I'm like, no, you don't. If they do that, so there's two angles. On one hand, it's like, okay, you think about the timeline of the show, the way the creators handled their reunitings in the first 2 episodes of the season, it made it seem like it was very, I don't know how to explain it, but for me it felt real, as if we were really living in these times. But as viewers, we wanted things to be more, maybe, but they were treating each other like as they would in real life.
Right.
I don't know if I'm explaining my point very clearly, but I guess what I'm saying is, if I were to put it in one
There
sentence,
was like a very superficial like feeling to everything they were doing because they knew they might die the next day, so they weren't going to get like all deep.
No, see, I wasn't. See, no, that's why I'm glad I asked. So the way I interpret it is, they were not deep because they wouldn't be deep in real life. Because if you haven't seen someone in like 6 months, 7 months, I don't know what the time period is, but let's say it's a year, they might not act super philosophical and shit. They're going to act like they just saw someone
Right.
6 months to a year ago, which is what they did in this show.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, but it's also very superficial. It's more like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? How you been, man? Blah, 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 whatever,
Right.
whatever. We're not going to, like, wax philosophical.
So what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, when it comes to Tyrion, to Jaime and
Cersei?
and Cersei, I think the way I interpreted it at first was like, oh, of course he's still in love, because the time frame, like on the show and his development, but in the real world, of course he's still going to be in love. But I think they did that for that reasons, to make people believe
Misdirect.
that he's still in love until he goes back to fucking kill her or to do something. And just because it would really devalue his arc.
Yeah.
Like on a creative level, it really just throws everything in the shitter. And it doesn't really give you a valid reason for it. Unless that's his kid, which is what people are saying that...
That is his kid.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know if we really don't even know if she's pregnant, really.
This is true.
Like, we're assuming,
Yeah, she's throwing that out.
and
We're
we
assuming
believe
she's
it.
pregnant.
We believe it because
Right.
Qyburn, he backs it up too. I'm just saying, like, I'm assuming she
Yeah.
is, but she could not. I don't know.
I mean, also...
She could be infertile.
For all we know, it could be fucking Lancel Lannister's kid, too. I don't know. The timelines are all fucked up now where I don't know when
When he
happened
hooked up with
or
her?
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm just saying, because I feel like she's trying to pull another Robert Baratheon
Right.
on fucking
Yes.
what's his name.
History repeating
And
itself, yeah.
I don't know how Euron's gonna take that when he inevitably finds out. I don't know.
I mean, Euron's the type of dude who would kill Cersei and the kid. I feel like he's...
I think he might kill her and the kid anyway.
Yeah.
Like even if they win, and then it's all over.
Oh, but if it's his kid, he won't kill it. He needs a...
No, I'm saying he would kill her. I think he'd kill her anyway.
Absolutely, to
Just
take
period.
over, take sole power of the throne, yeah.
Let's see other things
Which
that
is why it sucks that we got rushed into this character. It's a character that should have been developed. Like,
He should have been there since season 4, if not earlier. Like whenever the Greyjoys were really a part of the plot, he should have
Right.
been there. Even if it was just cutting around him adventuring and shit. Like, because apparently in the books he's like a master pirate.
Right.
We didn't get any of that shit. And I mentioned before, like in the books, he has a dragon horn and stuff to like cull dragons. Allegedly, that's what the.
Well, now he's got those big ass fucking arrows, man.
Don't even get me.
Shooting a dragon out of the sky from a boat.
What
like,
if it's so
how far away as well?
I almost don't even want to talk about that. That shit bothered me so much. But let's see what other development. How do you feel about Brianne crying? Because I felt like
I don't know.
I was conflicted.
He cried?
She cried. Brianne cries.
Oh,
when,
Brienne.
Yeah,
I thought
when-
you said Bran.
No, Brianne cries when Jaime
leaves.
So like on one hand,
I felt like it fit because it's like she's always like.
no, it fit 100%.
Yeah.
But it's like
This is her moment of vulnerability where, this is her first time where she's an actual woman on the show.
that's my conflict.
You're
though.
saying that it's sexist?
No, but it's like I mean, maybe that's what I'm saying, but I don't want to call it sexist. But
SJW piece of shit.
It just felt like so unlike Brianne.
But it's
that like she had to fall in love to act like.
I mean,
I get it. He popped her cherry.
He popped her cherry. Like this is the first. She has not had really any human connection with anyone. She cried when the Night of Flowers died.
The Baratheon.
Yeah, Renly. Yeah, when Renly died, so that's the first time you saw her, and that was someone she was in love with as well. Even...
She didn't fuck him because he was gay as fuck. So.
Right.
It didn't bother me. Like, it didn't take me out where I'm like, oh, God, here we go. But I was like,
it's also an angle that's not really in the book either.
That he's gay?
Yeah, like, it's alluded to, but it's not, like...
They didn't allude to it in the show.
No, they
might as well just put a dick in his mouth.
That's Iron Fist and him be getting down. Yeah.
Okay, so
you think he Iron Fist his ass?
I've never even seen Iron Fist. I don't even know where that fist and iron comes from, like what the connection is there. Other episode 4 things. We already talked about the dragons. We already talked about Brianne
let's just jump
Jaime.
right into Bronn.
That scene. What did you think about that scene?
I mean,
I fucking hated it.
It was a bad scene. It was definitely a bad scene. It was just kind of like,
it made no sense.
Let's just throw him out there. Well, we did call it, though, or I called it, and we talked about it. I said that Bronn
could kill them,
but it's going to be one of those things where, like, you're going to get a chance to, because he likes them. On a personal level, he likes them.
How'd he get to Winterfell?
A horse? I don't know.
How'd he slip by all the guards?
That's what he does, man.
Why the fuck was Tyrion and Jaime the only ones in this tent?
I thought the whorehouse.
Well, where were the whores? This is what I was thinking, because it was such a fucking scene from a movie. Like, literally, they just pulled it from some fucking movie. I can't even think of what it would be, but it felt so...
It's like they wanted to get Bronn on screen.
But why?
To remind us that he was still around.
But why? Like, what is his arc gonna be? So he's going back up to the fucking King's Landing?
He doesn't have an arc. No, I mean, it's all, like, circumstantial. Like, I'll see you guys at the end of this whole thing, You guys better not
He literally says, like, I'll see you at the end.
Says all the shit to cover his ass for, like, now we don't have to see him.
It's not even his ass. It's to cover the showrunner's ass.
Well, that's what I mean. Like now he's protected. Like, he's not going to take part in the battle because he's, like, doesn't give a shit,
What would you think? Well, I don't know. What'd you think? Like, why do you think that's going to... I just didn't like it. I like the stakes. I like that he decided to tell him that he's serious. But
I think that scene completely devalues his character now. His character's meaningless now for the rest of the show. He goes the way of Greyjoy, the one that you think keeps going to come back at some point. I don't think she's coming back.
She's coming back, bro.
I don't think she's coming back,
She's fucking coming back.
I don't think she's going to... I mean, maybe in this episode 5, she's going to show up at the very last minute and save someone's ass. But she's never had a scene by herself in this entire, like,
I mean, she
series.
saved her brother.
Yeah, but there was always someone involved, and usually Theon. She hasn't, if you think about it, how many scenes has she had without Theon?
You keep making it seem like I'm arguing for her importance. I'm just arguing for the fact that she's going to come back and she's going to be involved in the narrative. Because, you know what? When you bring up, what's his name? When you bring up, Bronn and how he turned into this other thing, whatever, and, like, after, and then you bring up her coming to save the day, all that sounds plausible to me. Because if you look at Jon Snow's record, every single battle he's in, he's losing, and someone else saves the day. He's never the one who saves the day.
Right.
Ever. I mean, think about every single one he's been in. Battle of the Bastards. Who saved him? The Knights of the Eyrie, they came and saved the fucking day.
Which I've seen people online, like, attributing it to Sansa, and it's like, it wasn't Sansa.
Even if it was Sansa.
That was Littlefinger fucking...
Even if whoever it was, it wasn't Jon.
No.
That's my point.
It wasn't.
Last week, with the fucking dragon, who saved the day? Bran and fucking technically Arya.
Yeah.
Not Jon. He's supposed to be the king, and he's not very
getting credit
kingly.
For it. That's why he's going to die again.
Hardhome. I'll argue that's not his fault, but he went up there to save those fucking people, right?
Yeah.
Got a lot of them killed and turned into fucking... Like, he gave them a giant. He gave the fucking... which ended up not fucking mattering, which is one of my big complaints about last week. But that wasn't a victory. I mean, like I said, what else did he do?
I mean, Hardhome was a loss.
Fucking, what's it called? The battle at the wall? When the fucking wildlings were coming?
Yeah.
Who saved the day? Not Jon. Stannis Baratheon came and saved the fucking day.
Right.
Because they survived like one night on their own, and then Stannis came and fucking killed all the wildlings.
Right.
Without Stannis, what would have happened? The Wildlings would have taken that fucking wall.
Hey, man.
It would have been a different show.
I feel like there's a little bit...
Mance Rayder's still fucking alive in the books.
There's a little bit of luck involved in all these, in this battle for the throne, man.
Well, that actually complements the books, though. Because my friend Michael was telling me that, like, in the books, these people are terrible military strategists. They're awful. They're bad. So like that's why bad company. That's when the Golden Company coming in would be a big deal.
Right.
Because these people fighting in Westeros, they don't even know how to fucking fight. They're just like rich people.
Is that bad writing or is it like mentioned in the book?
No, in the books. Like, no, I'm saying like in the books they're terrible. They're terrible military.
So Tywin Lannister's not a brilliant military mind.
No, that's why he's able to capture everything. Because like the Targaryens,
because he's got half a wit.
The Targaryens were able to get everything because they had dragons, and then Tywin and company, the Lannisters, they had enough troops and enough strategy.
Well, I know that Tywin Lannister.
That's why Robb was doing so well because he was actually smart.
Tywin Lannister waited until the very last minute to join the Robert's Rebellion, and he double crossed.
Yeah, because it was all about backdoor dealings. It was never about military strategy, which is why Robb was doing so well. Because he actually had some strategy going on. That's why he was outplaying everybody. Literally, you think about Robb, if he didn't marry the girl, which we've already discussed before, and he didn't fucking, if what's his name wasn't double-crossed with the Lannisters, Frey, he could have fucking got it all.
Right.
I mean, at the Red Wedding, he was in good standing. They were pretty good.
He was winning, yeah.
He was, did he get declared King of the North at that?
Yeah.
And then he got fucking...
Yeah.
Or he got arrowed. How did he die?
They shot arrows. Yeah, they played the Reigns of Castamere.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor R.I.P. Robb.
Yeah.
Back when the show was a different show altogether. Let's see. I don't really know what else fucking to talk about though in this episode. I mean, what's her name got her head cut off just like
dude, that shit.
It mirrored just
that shit pissed me off. Like, is this whole fucking season gonna be about killing secondary characters? That's what it's been so far. This is episode 4, and not one important person has fucking died. It's been a second tier character 1 week after the fucking other. So episode 5 better deliver. Like, motherfuckers need to die. Somebody big needs to die.
They will.
Like,
they will.
No, don't say that. Don't say that, because you've said that shit already for the past few weeks, man. All right, dude. You were defending the showrunners at the beginning before episode 1 or before episode 3. You were defending the showrunners, and I was like, dude, these guys have fucking lost their shit, man. They're in over their heads now, and they're just trying to get this shit over with and never talk about it again.
I mean, I think you're saying it that way devalues the hard work that they're putting in. I don't think it's easy to write these things. I don't.
No.
Because I think I also really do, I genuinely believe that there's 2 factors going on here that we have to acknowledge. Now, to the extent, I don't know like how this influenced everything, budget and lack of source material. They knew the broad strokes, I feel like, and maybe they wanted to tell a bigger...
I read the Battle of Winterfell, they shot for 11 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I told you that. We talked about that.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah,
I thought I read...
at night.
Yeah, we mentioned. Come on, guys! Like, come on! You're talking about budget, but you're gonna spend fucking 11 weeks on one battle. You know what I mean? Like, there was a way to work around that shit, dude. Is this what the fans want? Did we want this huge fucking battle, or do we want?
I did, but I thought it was gonna be every episode was gonna be on that scale.
Yeah, exactly. Like every you only have 6 episodes.
I thought
it's been 2 years as well. It's been 2 years, and within 2 years, you couldn't figure out how to wrap this story a little bit better, man.
It's all.
I'm not saying it's easy at all, but I'm saying you've had time.
Well, we don't know how it's gonna conclude yet.
We don't. But
these last 2 episodes.
We're
could be
4
10
episodes
out of 10s.
in, and
they
gotta say I'm a bit disappointed, man.
They could be 10 out of 10s.
Entertainment value, sure, I've been entertained, but it's.
And then the other factor is, I don't know. I don't see how when episode 6 wraps up, credits roll, that there's gonna be unanimous. Wow. There's gonna be, it's setting up for huge.
I mean,
division.
And that is, I feel like that just Sopranos, Breaking Bad, same thing, man.
No, there's a difference though. This is why I'm glad you said that though, because I wanted to go there. The difference is, leading up there, you didn't have those complaints. You watch Sopranos, I wasn't bitching at all when it got up to the end. Literally, the last scene is what killed the show for people, the divisive ending, because it was literally the ending. But I'd argue, literally until that moment, there's no complaints. I think if you're complaining, you're crazy. For me, though, I just love the show. Breaking Bad, the same thing. It's literally how they handled the very, very, very end that conflicted some people. But the episodes previous to that, there was no, we didn't watch Ozymandias be like, fucking da-da-da-da-da. I mean, we weren't doing podcasts back then.
Right.
But no way we were complaining like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was like, fucking, I don't know why that, Vince Gilligan, he did this with Walt or whatever.
That's fair.
We were enjoying everything as it was going on.
Right. It was like, when we got to the climax at the very end, we were like,
and it was just that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even hate Breaking Bad.
It was like all the foreplay was great in that final season, but then when it finally time to pop, like nothing,
I didn't even think it was that bad.
Nothing but dust came out.
But I'm just saying that's the whole point, though. This season has reminded me of Lost. Where Lost, as I was watching the last season, it was like started off cool, and then it was kind of like, wait, what? And then you're like, you're just back and forth, and then it ends, and you're kind of like, this is what I invested 100 episodes in or whatever,
Right.
This is how it culminates.
Yeah.
It flashed forward to the future when they're all dead. Like, that's how it ends. That's how Lost ends.
Spoilers.
Yes. I mean, if you haven't watched Lost.
I haven't watched one episode of Lost. So.
They don't even tell you that's the ending, by the way.
Right.
They're all in a church. The ending of Lost, they're all in a church. And then people just start coming into the church. And they just start sitting down. And then one of them opens the doors, and then like a bunch of light floods in. And the whole point is, at least the way I interpret it is, that church is purgatory. And every time one of the characters who was involved in the initial incident died, they went to this purgatory.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to be released until they all died. And then when they were all died, they were able to go out into heaven, I guess.
That's some fucking existential shit.
What I'm saying, that was a divisive ending.
Yeah.
Like, people were conflicted on that. And I think that's going to be the same thing. I don't know, but my gut says that's what it's going to be. Otherwise, why would we feel so negative about some of these things?
I've heard some people, they're totally
Carlos, can you give me some batteries?
they totally love this last season. They're like, everything's great, but I feel like most people are not happy with it so far.
I think those are fake fans.
What, the people not happy with it?
The people who are happy with it?
Oh, like people that just got into Johnny Come.
Just started,
You
like,
know what?
now.
That makes sense. I feel like that's more the people that got in late, so they binge watch everything.
And so they didn't have the problems of going through season 5.
Yeah, they didn't.
Through these boring lulls of bullshit.
Not just that, but you didn't have those like waiting a year or
That's
a year
what
and
I'm
a half
saying.
for the next season to come out.
So
like,
they're just like,
yeah.
And you're like, cool, this is great.
Yeah, there's no expectations because you haven't put in the time. I don't know, man. I just maybe I should temper my expectations for this episode 5, which is supposed to be like the nastiest, bloodiest episode ever, or whatever. Like, or it's supposed to be more brutal than the Red Wedding. That right off the bat tells me that it's not going to be. Like, why would you even like
compare it?
Yeah, why would you do that? Why would you set people's expectations up to that? Like,
well, as from what I've heard, is there's supposed to be a Red Wedding episode in this season, and in my opinion, it hasn't happened yet because, like you said, none of the characters have died. What I was saying before Mike died, though, is when I rewatched this whole series, even the bad moments were still good.
mm-hmm.
Like before season 7 or maybe season 6, I'm not sure. I rewatched the whole series again, and even the bad moments aren't like as bad as they were.
Well, it's like
in retrospect.
It's like you said with MCU. You went back and you watched the films that people thought were bad, and like now that it was all connected together, it didn't feel.
Which
as
is
bad.
why I'm like, I'm still not anti Game of Thrones. I'll still be watching this shit at 6
I'm
o'clock.
still gonna finish. I'm still gonna finish these last 2 episodes. It's not like I'm gonna fucking quit on it, but I'm definitely like not
feeling what I was feeling when I told you about the fucking fact that it's like that was the climax.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now, there's one shot in the let's jump into episode 5, though, because I think we've expelled our review. In the trailer, like the lead-up trailer, there's a shot with Euron, and he's, like, shocked. People are speculating as to what he's seeing that would get him to be shocked, because he's not a shocked individual. He obviously just killed a fucking dragon, right?
Right.
So it makes me wonder what that could be. What do you think that could be?
If I'm going to take the easy way out, it's that, Daenerys is going to go even higher in the sky and then come out of use the clouds as cover, and then come diving out of the clouds, and he's not going to be like ready for her. And that's like.
Do you think that if you were to put your money on it?
You know what? I am going to put my money on it. Yeah, I would go with that because everything so far has been pretty predictable. There hasn't been one like shocking moment.
Night King coming back?
No. No, I don't think so.
If he comes back, how would that make you feel?
I wish you hadn't even brought that up because,
You'd be pissed?
No, I wouldn't be pissed at all. If they somehow figure out how to bring him back, like, that might be pretty fucking awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because when I saw his face get shocked, and I'm like, that's the first time we've ever seen Euron be shocked.
Right.
And they're showing that. They don't know what he's looking at. They don't know anything. I don't know how you'd bring him back, but I'm just saying, could you imagine if it were something like that? I don't know how, because he vanished into dust. That camera died. Or not died, but just stopped rolling.
I mean, we have no idea what the context is. Like, it could definitely be.
I do think the Night King's done.
Yeah,
And I think what you said, he's going to get established and better fleshed out in the prequels. That's what I
hope so.
They've said it's going to take place on during the first long night or something, around that time period.
Which would be much more interesting than doing
Of course, you get to see more Castle Black. Yeah. You get more wildling interactions potentially. So
there's anything that's like pre-Robert's Rebellion.
This is
like
pre.
Years,
this is pre.
Like if it's like when the Targaryens land in Westeros or something.
I think it's even before that, the first long night. I think it's even way before that. I think it's all around the Doom of Valyria and things like that. Which I'm completely
So this is going to be non-Westeros at all then?
No, it is West. It's just way.
But the kingdoms weren't united at that time.
I don't think it was this. But I could be completely wrong. The last time I read about this was a few seasons ago, so I don't really remember the history too much.
I mean, are they already shooting it? Because if not, who knows if it's still going to happen.
Oh, no, it's happening. There were 6 pilots in production, and then 3 got shelved, and they're moving forward with 3. George R. R. Martin's a part of one of that. He's the one who just said it. He posted in a blog post about it.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
But yeah, other episode 5 speculation. Clearly there's going to be a battle taking place. Is this where we get Clegane Bowl?
I think so. I think we're going to get Clegane Bowl. And if there's a gambling site for Game of Thrones, don't listen to anything I said because so far I've been completely wrong with every fucking episode. I don't think I've called one thing yet.
Over, under, main characters dying.
God damn it. They got to die this episode. Like, I'm expecting this to be the big everybody dies, and then episode 6 is fucking the Return of the King marriage and funeral. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we see in episode 6, like the fallout, and we see...
I'd hate that so much. And that's what's going to happen, though, because, something big is going to happen in the next episode, and I'm not just saying this, drinking the Kool-Aid, because everything always happens big in episode 9.
Yes, it's always the penultimate. The penultimate episode in every season is where something big happens, and then the following is kind of just like the repercussions of everything that happened. And then
with the exception of last year, or wherever fucking Tommen jumped off the building. That was the only year where you had, in my opinion, 2 back-to-back impactful episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know what episode that was, or what season that was.
I can't remember.
Because I just don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck. I'm trying to just think of what's, because the battle.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a bloody ass battle. The North is gonna win. Dany's gonna win, and then Varys is gonna kill her somehow. She's gonna die. I think Cersei's gonna die. I think Dany's gonna die. And then episode 6 is trying to convince Jon Snow to be the king. He doesn't want to be the king because
they kill him too.
Maybe they kill him too. Who knows?
But he already killed.
Remember, I talked about this. I talked about it last week. I talked about how
Sansa said there's a better option.
Ned Stark fucked up. Well, Jon Snow.
So I was gonna ask.
But she did. She didn't.
Do you think that's what?
I think that's that's him saying, "Hey, Jon Snow's actually the one."
But she has conflicts with him.
There's also.
She doesn't like. I feel like she doesn't like.
No,
John.
they
really do. I feel like that.
Look, she was before she got raped and shit. She was Little Miss Snooty and looked down at him because he's a bastard. That was always the issue. Like, he's the bastard. My mom hates him. I hate him too. Remember, she was really close.
I know.
With the mom. Arya was the only one because Arya was kind of an outcast because she was a girl, but she wanted to fucking shoot arrows. She wanted a sword fight and stuff like that. Bran was a little boy. Rickon was a little boy, and Robb was.
His name was Rickon.
Yeah, his name's Rickon.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. He died before Battle of the Bastards. I thought it was something else. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, though, the fact that she found out that he's not blood.
Well, he's blood. He's just a cousin, not a brother.
Well, he's a Targaryen.
He's also a Stark.
He's an enemy.
But he's also Stark.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Look, that is the fucking ice and fire uniting.
What if it's Tyrion?
It could be that
as the
too.
king.
I mean, I think people would be
He
happy
wouldn't be
with
able
that.
to. He wouldn't be able to put his feet down if he sat on the throne.
Just in her feet dangling, swinging.
Well, because I don't know. Like, we don't know what they talk about in the episode. They make that very like clear that you're not going to know their conversations, and then it goes to that old school Game of Thrones.
But she does tell him that.
They never mentioned who the successor.
No,
would be.
but then they talked about Varys and Tyrion start talking exactly how many people know about Jon being.
Oh, I know
the truth about Jon.
I know they're talking about Jon.
8 people, which is already too many. Like the word's gonna get out. There's no way to put a cap on this now.
So you think, well, but see, that's what fucking annoys me about this shit.
Why
Why couldn't this happen earlier?
I don't think that we're gonna have so many unexpected turns that we had before. I really don't. I think they're just trying to wrap up all the loose ends. And so far, it's 4 episodes deep. They pretty much been doing that.
Daenerys can't die during the battle. If she dies in the battle,
no, she doesn't have to die.
It deflates all that tension.
I don't think she dies during the battle. I think maybe that's what happens at the end of the episode. Like she's on the throne and then somebody fucking kills her.
All I want is a scene.
And that's your red wedding. It's going to be something brutal. Like nobody wants it. Maybe the people, like she goes in thinking the people are going to say thank you and the fucking people are the ones that attack her and take her down. Who knows?
I just want a scene.
Well, we haven't seen the people, man. Like, when do we see the people again?
We don't. So we haven't seen the people.
You know, we haven't seen the people since
fucking forever.
Since Cersei walking through the streets naked. Fucking shame. That's it. And people throwing fucking
people
fruit
seem
at
to be
her.
happy with her now because we don't see them. But what I was going to say is I want a scene in which Dany and Jon somehow, I don't know how this would come about. It's Dany, Jon, and who's the Drogon? Is that the last dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Where the dragon doesn't fucking listen to Dany and goes with Jon somehow. I don't know how that would turn out, but what would lead to that?
Right.
But because they had like some weird connection moments.
Yeah.
Where he looked at him, and then the fact that Jon was able to ride the brother.
Right.
The dragon.
Well, he
knows.
looked at him when they were making out, and he was like, "Bruh, that's your auntie, bruh."
That's what I'm saying. They know.
Yeah.
They know. The dragons know Targaryen blood. I feel like.
Dude, obviously this is a different storyline, but it's every fantasy, like
imagine Dany tries
any
to tell
fantasy
Jon
universe
to
that I
get
can
killed.
remember that has dragons. The dragons are super intelligent. Like they're dolphins.
Basically, yeah.
Except for maybe How to Train Your Dragon. Some of those little dragons.
Those dragons are smart.
Some of them
I
are
love
dumb
that
as
movie.
shit.
That movie's great.
You know, the little the ones that look like fucking flying frogs and shit.
Well, they're made to be dumb. I think. I think they're made to be stupid.
You know.
But imagine Dany wants to kill Jon. And
Do you think Drogon's gonna step in?
And
the
he
way?
tells her. He tells her to direct
Dracarys.
on him, and he
goes.
doesn't do it, and he eats her, or some shit. He just straight up fucking turns and eats her. I mean,
I want to ask you something. If that happens next episode,
I'd be pissed.
Yeah. How upset are you gonna be?
Fucking pissed. If that happened just like that or something like that, I'd be fucking annoyed because everyone else would be like. And for me, I'd be like, no, I thought of this. I thought of it. If I thought of it, it's terrible. That's not good.
I don't know, but any final predictions?
I really have no idea what else to
Yeah,
say because I'm on this weird spot where I'm super excited because I know it's gonna be super action packed. I like the fact I didn't like how they reused the same gimmick that fucking what's his name used when he killed Jon's brother. Fucking what's his name, dude? The one who raped Sansa. I don't know. I'm forgetting his name. I love. Oh,
Ramsay.
Ramsay. I didn't like how they reused that same bit.
They did.
I mean, pretty much that's what he does.
They let him run, and then he shot him with an arrow.
It's pretty much what Cersei does. I mean, it's that same gimmick of we got to kill someone we care about to get us involved into the battle. Like that same.
Yeah,
and
I
then
didn't really pick up on that.
And then they literally it was like a shot for shot for fucking what's his name, the decapitation moment where the Ned. It was shot the same way, and in my mind I'm like, why are they shooting it in the same way? Because, well, maybe is this her history repeating itself?
I didn't see it as a callback, but
no, they shot it in the same way.
Right.
Like the way they framed it and everything. I went back to it's the
but
same.
But it also
fucking,
wasn't in front of the public and everything, and he.
No, I know it was a different circumstance,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking, what the fuck did that bitch do?
And
in
Ned
the
Stark.
series
What did
that
what did Ned Stark say before he died? He didn't say
He went.
Yeah,
He didn't say anything.
Yeah, she said Dracarys which I thought that was actually the most impactful part of this entire episode was her saying Dracarys basically.
Burn it all down.
Yeah, just saying fuck all these people. Like, yeah, let them burn.
Which is what's gonna happen.
Funny enough,
she's gonna burn the whole King's Landing.
She overheard Tyrion and Sansa talking shit about Daenerys in the crypt, and that never got brought up again.
What do you mean?
So in episode 3, before
I don't even remember that.
In episode 3, like Sansa and Tyrion are having this heart to heart about why it wouldn't work between them if they were to like
get married.
If they were to had stayed married, you know, and then Miss Sandy,
bitch dead now.
Miss Sandy comes by and she's like, yeah, it doesn't matter because everyone would be dead if it wasn't for her, and then she walks away. So she overhears them. Tyrion wasn't really talking shit, but Sansa was talking shit.
She's dead now, though.
Yeah, and she dead.
She taking that shit to the grave.
She did, you know. But I thought that was gonna like
turn into something. Well, I thought they were gonna fucking commit suicide. And
I don't know
themselves.
the whole. I mean, that we didn't even talk about the beginning scene of the episode either. Like everyone's celebrating, and then you see Daenerys getting
Tormund getting rejected.
Yeah, which was hilarious. That was awesome.
When he sees Jaime, he's like he put it all together in his head, and he got so sad.
And then he's crying.
That was fucking hilarious.
I came all the way out here for her. For that guy to just walk in and take her from me, and then a hooker comes up.
And he just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Which is typical man response.
Right.
Okay.
And his story. He's done. We're not gonna see him again.
We might, maybe. Not for these
if
battles.
If Jon Snow becomes king.
If Robb comes back to life,
we might see a. We might see a Star Wars moment where everybody shows up.
That's what I was alluding to, like for his king ceremony or some shit.
Yeah, but who knows? I don't know.
There was a speculation about him killing that. Fuck. What did I read?
Hold on. Over under that Bran does something this episode.
Fucking super under. He's not gonna do shit. He's in Winterfell. That's why I asked you earlier who's at Winterfell, because I do feel like something's gonna happen at Winterfell. Like something's gonna go down. Like. Maybe that's where the Red Wedding happens, where Sansa low-key sent this fucking other party, like everyone didn't know that, like to Winterfell to take Winterfell. So like even if something went down, she could like...
Over under that there's a conflict between Tyrion and Varys. Is Varys going to survive this whole thing?
He fucking better. He doesn't have a dick, man. What else does he have to live for? I mean, literally, I don't know, bro. It's like, you know what's sad? I don't want to say it's not fun talking about this anymore, but it's kind of like not fun talking about this anymore. Not about this episode, but like all these speculations.
I mean, I think part of it has to do with because we know it's done.
We're at the end now.
So everything we've been speculating this whole time is going to like fail.
And they've just been forgetting so many things. That's what sucks. It's like you have, because all of our, in my opinion at least, I don't know about you, but I feel like I could say this for the both of us. All of our criticisms are coming from a place of like love for the show,
right?
And fucking pure disappointment that it's just not being perfect all the time.
Had it been trash from jump, like we wouldn't.
And it wasn't. I thought it was.
Right. No, it took you a couple. It took you a couple warm-ups,
4 seasons,
but
4 fucking seasons. And I'm gonna rewatch it again, and so maybe it all makes sense. You know, maybe when they, because like you brought up the MCU earlier. Clearly, they're writing things for callbacks later, and we might not be picking up on them right away. So, like, obviously, they're going to be rewatching things over and over and over again, and like certain lines are for certain moments.
There's little things like when that assassin came in to kill Bran in his bed with Littlefinger's knife, you know,
which ultimately ended up killing the Night King, which is so fucking stupid. I don't know.
But
do you think we're going to like next week?
Did you like when that happened? No, nobody knew that it was Littlefinger that called for the assassin to go and kill Bran. Like,
and then you find out later, and you're like, oh, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna like next? Do you think we'll leave with this? I think this is a good way to leave this whole.
I think I'm gonna.
Are we gonna be happy next week?
I don't know if I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be.
Are we gonna be happy? Yes or no?
I'm gonna go no. I
think it's gonna be a good episode.
I think I'm gonna end up talking shit.
I think I'm gonna.
No,
be happy.
that's it. Comes down to will I be entertained? Sure.
No, happy. I think I'm gonna be happy.
You think shit's gonna happen? That's gonna like.
I think I'm putting.
It's gonna satisfy you.
I'm all in right here. This is all my bets. I'm all in. If this episode is good, which I think it will be, which is why I think I'll be happy, I'm gonna be going into the finale like stoked. Ultimately, to probably be disappointed, but we'll see. But my mind, I'm all in right here. This is it. This is like my fucking Texas Hold'em moment where I'm throwing all the cards in here.
All the chips.
Because if next week's episode sucks, I don't give a fuck about how it ends. Really, when you really think about it, if next week sucks, or this week, this Sunday, when the episode drops, if it doesn't leave us satisfied, why should we care how it all ends?
Yeah.
8 years or not, if literally the moment, the last episode, second to last episode, if it's not good, why would the last episode be better?
That'd be funny if like next week's episode or
It's
this
terrible.
Sunday's episode sucks, so like nobody watches the last. They're like, I'm done.
Well, there was a drop in
Tapped out.
viewership from last week to this week, or from the battle to this week,
Interesting.
and it's been trajecting up this whole season.
Right.
And then there was a dip. I don't know if that's because of people like me who were like, "Fuck this show," but they were serious about it, and they decided
Right.
I'm not watching it, or they said, "Fuck this show, I'm gonna just download the bootleg." I don't know, but
Or they're just like, whatever, I'll just wait for it and just watch it all together because I don't want to deal with this bullshit. I want to get pissed off. I'd rather get pissed off all at one time rather than
and that's gonna
every
be a valid
Sunday.
thing.
So, anyways, before we get going, I just want to bring up. So Disney released their schedule for the next 4 years. I want to take a look at the list. Like, we got a Token biopic. I guess
already
that's-
came out.
That's been in the works for Fox already. Like, how many of these do you actually count as Disney? And is there anything like
Well, the ones that say Disney, I count as Disney.
no dick face?
4, 5, 6.
Well, okay, so two things about this release
Like, does
schedule.
any shit here stand out to
Well,
you?
hold on. Two things about this release schedule before we get into it. First things first. Disney just announced yesterday that they're going to be cutting down the Fox's output from 12 to 15 movies a year to 6.
Oh shit.
So they're already and I was thinking like, oh, that's okay. Maybe Fox is just producing a lot of shit.
yeah.
That's half of what every other major studio is doing. So they're already, and you got to think one of those movies is going to be Avatar.
Right.
Like so, and it's like so. I don't know what they're doing. I think that's the negative of Fox being sold to Disney. Like, I never really was on board with Disney buying Fox,
Right.
to be honest. I love the fucking Marvel side of it, but Disney owning fucking Alien, Disney owning The Simpsons, even Disney owning like,
yeah.
it's like
no. There's definitely it's
getting to the point of
it's
fucking,
turning into oligopoly. Like, there's only going to be like 3 major studios putting out everything.
It's getting to the point where we might need to start calling antitrust to Disney.
okay.
In my opinion.
That's fair. No, I get
In my
that.
honest opinion.
I mean, my counter to that though is like this never would have happened if Fox hadn't put out so many fucking turkeys, man.
But see, I don't even think that's what it is. They're making so much fucking money hand over fist because Trump's in office. They don't even need to do this division.
Well, they kept the news thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That they said, fuck this other shit.
But that
we're making
look,
way more money by
if-
just fucking producing this 24-hour
If
news
Fox,
cycle.
if the Fox feature films were that profitable, I don't think they would have given it up. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to it. And if we go through the list of movies Fox has put out, they haven't been putting out the best movies.
it's arguable, I feel like, but
They've definitely fallen behind the other studios.
sure. I'm just saying there's larger ramifications than them just making shitty movies. I don't think just because you make a few shitty movies, Disney should be able to just buy you.
No, absolutely not. But
That's what I'm getting.
dude, we're at a point where everything's so corporate now. Where if your
Yeah, it's an
investors
issue.
aren't feeling like, if they're not making top of the line returns on their investment, they want out, and that's what happened.
But let's go back to this list. So
Okay.
what was the point of you bringing all this up?
No, I just want to see if there's anything that stood out. Like, the first thing that stands out is they didn't put Far From Home on there, so that obviously counts as a Sony movie.
Yeah.
It's not on the list.
Well, it's not a Walt Disney picture.
Yeah, but the MCU films are still listed under Disney. So if you go down,
No, I know. I see it. They go through it. But I mean,
what stands out to me? Like,
what's your angle on this? So that's what I'm asking. Like, what do you want to discuss about
no, I just
this?
wanted to look at it with you.
Because I did look at this early. I did look at this yesterday,
Yeah.
which is probably why I'm like, so what's the point?
Like, you just.
I'm actually more well. If you want to talk about the schedule, since I did look at it,
I'm very surprised.
I'm intrigued that we're going to be getting 3 Marvel movies a year.
New Mutants was supposed to come out this year, the end of this year. It got pushed to next year. So they're sticking with that movie, even though they've already kind of.
They're reshooting it.
But they've kind of announced that they're like that X universe is.
Well, they already put it in the can, man. I don't see you and Kat and other people like to think it'd be easier for them to just eat that movie. And in my mind, I'm like, why the fuck would they do that? First of all, they didn't produce it. They didn't do anything.
I don't know, because if
They
it
throw
sucks, I feel like the New Mutants movie that has
If
a
it's-
tiny budget
if it
because they're
sucks-
shooting it as a horror
If
film.
it sucks, who cares? It's gonna have the Fox label on it. If they make $50 million on that movie, like profit wise, It's a success.
It just depends on
'Cause
how
they shot it for
depends
nothing.
on how far along the film is.
They
Like,
shot it for nothing, and they still have what's her name
Okay.
from Game of Thrones attached to
which
it.
that doesn't really.
I'm just surprised that they're doing 3 Marvel movies a year.
But that's how they have been doing it for the past. Every year's been 3 movies.
But it's a different saga, different thing. We don't even know what those 3 movies a year
This
are
is
going to
true.
be.
So are you surprised that like without them being announced and you don't know what movies? We know there's a Black Panther
They're
2
going
coming
to
out.
be announced at D23. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, it
They
used
won't
to be
be-
Comic-Con, but fucking D23, man.
It won't be Comic-Con, but D23 I think it'll come out. What's surprising about the 3 a year
What about
is
this Indiana Jones movie coming
I'm
out?
excited for Indiana Jones 2021. Hopefully they're still alive by then.
You know what I don't like is Disney live action. Like, how many more live action?
They're doing their whole catalog.
I
They're
guess
doing their whole
I
library.
guess they're making money, but fuck, man.
They're
Like,
doing their whole
I
library.
have no interest in watching those
I'm gonna watch
films.
Lion King.
What have you? Okay, let me ask you. What have you seen of the live action?
I haven't seen any of them. I
Then-
just
then
refuse to
you
watch
can't
it.
comment on
I
it,
can
in my
totally
opinion.
comment.
I mean, you can, but
There's like I have no like reason to watch them. There's like nothing about them interesting. These are things I watched as a kid. I want my kid to watch his original animated films. I don't want these new live action reinterpretations.
you haven't seen
of
them. They're not reinterpretations, really. They're kind of the same.
Have you
story.
seen them?
Jungle Book.
And you liked them? I've
I
never
like-
heard you talk about any. Did you watch Beauty and the Beast?
I love Dumbo. I didn't see Beauty and the Beast.
Dumbo.
The
Dumbo's
only one
good.
you've watched is Dumbo.
When I've seen Dumbo, I saw Jungle Book. I didn't care for Jungle Book, the cartoon. See, I don't count Maleficent as.
Maleficent is like a prequel.
Yeah, that's why. Because if they
which
did
is probably
Sleeping
going to
Beauty,
lead. It's going to lead to a Sleeping Beauty
If they,
live
yeah,
action.
if they did Sleeping Beauty, I would be like, I'd agree with you. But Maleficent to me doesn't count, so I had no interest in it.
I'm waiting for Hunchback.
Yeah. Well, they're doing Lion King this year. They're doing Aladdin. I'd be curious to check out Aladdin. But see, those stories I didn't give a fuck about as the cartoons.
You didn't like Aladdin?
It's not. Apparently, I did when I was a kid
Robin
because
Williams.
Robin Williams and the genie. But I don't remember it. Dumbo, I remember. Lion King, I'll be watching. I want to see what they do with Lion King.
Fun fact: I've never seen Lion King.
Well, you've seen Hamlet, and that's what Hamlet is. That's what Lion King is. It's Hamlet.
Spoiler.
I'm just trying to think of like what else, what other ones they have on that they could do that I've seen that I liked as a kid. Like what other Disney cartoons?
Snow White.
Snow White, obviously, of course.
Bambi.
Bambi could happen. Bambi
Little
would be
Mermaid.
sad as fuck.
There's
Little
a
Mermaid.
There's a new.
Little Mermaid.
Dude, I
Bambi.
do not like these live action animal movies. Like,
Little Mermaid would be kind of cool with Poseidon
that'd
in
be
it,
kind of scary, man.
with Ursula
Triton.
under the sea and shit.
Sebastian.
Dude, that'd be fucking. That would be scary.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't know. I like Dumbo though. Dumbo was cool. I like Dumbo. It was a Tim Burton movie
else
too,
is
so I
there?
liked it. It was like
101 down. Wait,
I don't know. It brought me back to my childhood.
Tell
And
me.
people like them. I think people are
Well,
liking
dude, that Beauty and the Beast movie made fucking buckets upon buckets of
So-
money. Like people are showing up, and it's a movie nobody talks about either. But, if you looked, it's the top movies of that year.
But here's the thing, though, man. Kids watch cartoons, yes, right? But I think kids would watch these too.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio could work. Pinocchio would be cool. But here's the thing,
That's
though.
what the
movies-
Pixar films are for. Pixar films unite
But-
kids and the parents
but the
together,
movies,
man.
I know, but those movies aren't for you. But okay. Glad you said that.
But what are you talking about? That's
I'm
why the
glad
Pixar
hold on,
films are
I'm
so
glad
fucking
I'm glad you
good.
said that. Disney does not own Pixar. These are
Disney Pixar is a separate.
Yeah, they're not. So they got to do these things. I don't know, man. Disney's just trying to fucking take over the world. Like these are coming no matter what. Like for
Lady and
me,
the Tramp, it's already.
do I
confirmed.
give
Fucking mouse.
do
man.
I give a shit about the live action movies? No, I do not. I really don't. I like Dumbo though. Do I give a shit about Pixar movies anymore? Not really. I haven't watched Coco.
Toy Story 4 is coming out.
I want to see Toy Story 4, but at the same
Bro,
time,
your homework this weekend is to watch Coco and tell us if you cried or not.
I've just been seeing these memes
You've
with
never
cats.
seen it?
I've never seen where they have this meme. There's like with the cat, like they have the little sombrero, and then the song, like Coco, whatever the song is.
Poco Loco.
Yeah, that one. They put this like I don't know. I don't understand.
The
'cause-
cat has nothing to do with anything.
Well, I'm just saying what the meme is. They have the hat. They have the hat on the guy's hand, and
We
then
should
like
put this
zoom
up on the
in.
video.
It like zooms in, and the guy shakes it, and the hat disappears, and then the
That's a cat.
cat. The hat's on the cat, and like it's different.
I've
cats.
never seen this meme.
It's fucking. It makes me.
It
laugh.
doesn't make sense with the movie. 'Cause I've seen the movie.
But yeah, Star Wars. I'm curious to know what these Star Wars movies are. I guess it's going to be Ryan Johnson's trilogy, and then Avatar is what really disappointed me. That they pushed Avatar back, like way back. Avatar 2 doesn't come out till 2021, and Avatar 5, which I know you're probably like, fucking Avatar 5 doesn't come out till 2027. Yeah, see, look at that. So, getting to the point for me where I'm like, I want to be alive for these movies.
I don't give a shit about Avatar, bro.
Yeah, I know, that's just you though. It is just you.
It's not just me.
No, at this table, I think.
Well, between the two of us, it's just me. You're excited about it. Let's fucking throw the cards on the table. You're hating on the success of fucking Endgame because it's gonna break Avatar's record.
No.
You're telling me, and you,
why?
dude.
Hold on. If you're gonna throw my argument out there, why? Why am I?
Because James Cameron earned it and these ones didn't. That's why James Cameron was able to do it by himself.
With one movie.
But it's not one movie.
Why was it so
That's
popular?
not one movie. That's such bullshit. It's not one movie.
What was Avatar 0? When did that come out?
No, but Titanic, it has to do with the fucking director of Titanic.
One movie.
Which was the biggest movie. What about Terminator 2 that came out before?
I know.
This guy had a string of fucking
sites. His
name is attached to it. Within 10 years, one fucking producer smashed all of his fucking records, dude.
But you know what? It took 23
And the best part about it is, of all of James Cameron's movies, none of them are that fucking great.
How dare you? Terminator 2 is amazing.
It's a fun film. No. Terminator 2 is not an amazing film, bro.
No.
Absolutely, dude.
No.
The criticisms that you make about the MCU are like you tenfold on James Cameron's movies.
What even happens in Avatar? No one remembers.
Here's why you're wrong. Here's why you're genuinely fucking wrong.
The only reason why people went to watch fucking Avatar is because they fucking talked about the goddamn 3D so fucking much that everybody needed to see this revolutionary new 3D technology that makes shit.
Terminator 2 doesn't come out, you don't have the MCU.
Okay.
Terminator 2 is the template for that type of film. Those action type. Name me another film that you watch Terminator 2. Everything's based off. Terminator 2 was the Batman Begins.
Dude, this is revisionist history, bro. You weren't even alive when Terminator 2 came out, bro.
I wasn't. You're right. Yeah. But I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah, you watched it. But years later, you have so much context to put on it. I don't know if I buy that. It's also a sequel to a fucking sci-fi movie.
That he fucking made. He was made by the first one. He made Terminator 1.
Which was a fucking horror movie.
What does that have to do with anything? He self-made himself. What? He didn't come from...
It's not... It's none of that at all. My whole point is, this is why I asked you. That you're a fucking hater and you're upset that Marvel has been so fucking successful.
No, you're bad at Dorf.
When it took a fucking property that nobody gave a fuck about and turned it into fucking billions upon billions of dollars. Iron Man. They made Iron Man the fucking number 8 or 9 most popular character in Marvel and made him number 1 around the whole goddamn globe.
Yeah, and that movie made $500 million.
Okay, and
Avatar didn't, and it was his first one.
No. His name was attached to everything already, and it took 20 fucking years to get there. It wasn't overnight. This was overnight. This film made $500 million when everyone was talking shit about superhero films.
So, in the time that the MCU made all this money, James Cameron's been prepping for Avatar 2 so he can change the world again.
And I think that luster... No, I don't think anyone's going to care. I think people are over it. Yeah.
I don't.
Especially because Avatar 1 wasn't a good movie. It wasn't bad, but it was okay.
Here we go. I'm not even going to get involved with that conversation. Because it's like saying, because it's like, you say call it revisionist history, whatever. You talk about the Star Wars prequels movies. I can ask you when the last time you've seen one, and you'd say, fucking, I don't even know, 2005 when it came out. You watch those movies that George Lucas did, the prequel films, and I'm dead fucking serious. The movies that come out today... And I know you're going to give me shit for this, and people will give me shit for this too. I don't give a fuck. Those prequels were ahead of their time.
This all comes back to Daniel defending his love for the prequels.
Those prequels were ahead of their time. No, they were ahead of their time. Because the way they were shooting their movies is the way MCU shoots their movies right fucking now. The way they shoot their movies is just like the Star Wars prequels, with the fucking extravagance and the action and things like that.
And just better stories.
Whatever you might say. Whatever. That's fine. You can say what you want. I'm just saying that James Cameron doing what he did is way more impressive than what Endgame is doing right now because of whatever. And you can attribute whatever you want to it. I'm just saying, if you're to look at these two, because first of all, the Chinese market was just starting to begin, and Avatar came out, so that's a factor. But it sure as fuck didn't gross $400 million in China in the first week like this movie did.
What about the factor that they re-released Avatar like 17 fucking times?
They didn't.
Yes, they
They
did.
released it once.
They kept releasing the fucking film. So he didn't
once.
make all that money at the very first run.
Yes, they did. The majority of it, you can look it up. Titanic didn't get pushed to $2 billion until they re-released it. That I will give you, 100%. Avatar was pretty fucking close because they only re-released it once, and it was for an extended edition. And it was on a super limited thing because a lot of the theaters wouldn't even carry a 3-hour plus movie. So I'm just saying, there's two different ball games, and being one guy with no fucking stars attached, not having to fucking throw, we need fucking Robert Downey Jr. who's self-made, and like,
How dare
he
you
has to
talk shit
anchor-
about Sigourney Weaver?
Dude,
Tony, how dare you? RDJ was nobody
he wasn't.
when
I know.
Iron Man came out. His career was dead. He'd been arrested. He went to fucking rehab.
I know, but James Cameron didn't
He
spend
was
$50 million
blackballed.
on anybody.
They didn't spend $50 million on the first film.
You're right, it was $75 million for
No, on this last one.
Yeah, I know.
In the first film, they paid him fucking minimum wage and they gave him fucking extra McDonald's.
I don't know what your point is, bro. I don't know why I can't like Avatar.
You can like Avatar.
I do.
It's not about you liking Avatar. It's you taking shots. I don't even know how the fuck we got all the way
Me
down
either.
here.
You started this shit.
Oh, you being upset. This all happens. You being
I'm not even
that
upset.
they're pushing back.
Bro, do you think I give a shit about whether or not a movie makes more money or not?
No.
It's
You
a different
kinda do.
time.
You wouldn't have said nothing if you didn't.
No, I stand by the fact of the Avengers universe taking 23 fucking movies to finally get to a point where they can do that is not as impressive as what James Cameron did. Regardless,
What are you talking about?
Regardless if you say,
But what about
Tuki-
Endgame? What about Black Panther? Like the last few movies have all been fucking making money.
we
hand
know
over
why
fist.
we know why Black Panther made money. So take that one out of the
Oh,
loop.
god damn you, bro.
You know. You already know. You know. You can't even tell me I'm wrong. You know that that's one of the fucking reasons
Dude, here's
why it
proof.
did.
116.
How much money did Captain Marvel make?
Look at 116. Look.
How
Was
much?
YouTube even around?
6 million.
How much? it wasn't. How much did Captain Marvel make? Right now,
I think it made $1 billion. Let's go box office mojo.
$420.
That's domestic.
So 700 million. Worldwide, it's a 1.1.
billion.
It's I think we're in the age of superhero. Because go Google. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, the whole
we've been
point.
talking
The
about
whole
this
point
for
of
an
this.
hour.
The
I
whole
think we
point of
probably
this.
wrap this
The whole
up.
point of this rant is fuck Avatar.
Oh, yeah,
But anything else you want to add?
No, Avatar's great.
All right, guys.
Stand by Avatar.
That's
100%.
going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Smash that like button, leave comments, let us know what you think. If you're listening on iTunes, make sure to leave us a review, 5 stars, please, because we only have 19 reviews. SoundCloud, comment on SoundCloud. Stitcher, I don't know how Google Music works. You know, we
Me
just
either.
got on it. Probably going to look into to figure out how we can get on Spotify.
No, we won't.
as well.
Fuck Spotify.
Oh, well, fuck. Dan just says
Amazon
fuck
Music.
Spotify.
Yeah.
But
They'll
we'll
make
see you
money
next
off
time.
us,
Thanks
we
for
won't
watching.
Make money off of them.